Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. Aradhiyo Bhagavan Vrajeshitanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena va Kalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam primah pumartho mahāt. Śrī Caitanya-Mahāprabhu matamidam tatradharana para. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for joining. I see Vijaya Mataji, Veena Mataji, Philip Prabhu. There's one more devotee with the name Participant 1. If you could either rename or share about yourself, that'll be nice to know. But thank you for joining. Very grateful for your association. We are reading Srimad-Bhāgavatam today, Canto 10, chapter 23, entitled The Brahmana's Wives Blessed. And we are at the last section of this chapter, wherein the Brahmanas, just to give us some recap, because we didn't read, I guess, because of the past few days we were occupied in different events in Alachua, Dilan, etc. So we didn't get a chance to connect to Srimad-Bhāgavatam in this forum. But just to give a brief background, what has happened so far. Krishna and his friends were in the forest. They were hungry. Krishna sent his friends to ask the Brahmanas to give some food, and they were doing yajna. The Brahmanas were very busy in doing yajna and ignored the friends of Krishna. They were despondent, come back to Krishna and rejected, upset, that no one paid any attention to them. Krishna said, no, my dear friends, don't worry, we are yachakas. A beggar may sometimes get, sometimes not get. It's okay. We should not demand or kind of feel entitled that we deserve this. It's okay. But you go to the wives of Brahmanas, they are not jnanis and yogis, they are bhaktas. They're my devotees. And because they had heard a lot about Krishna, they had developed attachment to Krishna. We discussed that also. Finally, they offered everything, the best quantity and the best quality. And then finally, they also they go to Krishna. After satisfying Krishna with food and everything, there's a conversation between Krishna and the Brahmana's wives. And the Brahmana's wives, they finally return back to their homes. No one says anything, why you went there, all that. Rather, now we will see, so the Brahmana's wives have come back. And the Brahmanas, so I'll just connect to the last verse. The Brahmanas then came back to their senses and began to feel great remorse. They thought, we have sinned. We have denied the request of the two lords, Krishna Balaram, of the universe, who deceptively appear as ordinary human beings. So, avajananti mamuda. They appear as ordinary human beings, but they are not. They are the supreme lords. So, with that, let's go to the next verse, 39. Drishtva strinam bhagavati Krishne bhaktim alaukikim atmanam cha tayahinam anutapta vyagharyan. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Abhicharnaravind, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Taking note of their wise, pure, transcendental devotion for Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and seeing their own lack of devotion, the Brahmanas felt most sorrowful and began to condemn themselves. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So we have discussed this topic multiple times, that we make mistakes, but if we go through this feeling of introspection, realizing our mistake, when we reflect upon it, we realize our mistake, and then if we realize, a natural thing happens, which is remorse. So the Brahmanas are going through a remorse or regret, that what did we do? We neglected the two lords, and we do not have any devotion. That's how a devotee should always feel like. Not feeling that I deserve, not feeling, oh, I am a great devotee. A devotee always feels, I have no devotion. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshaish paramta bhavattaranga madhye kripamai tvam sharanam prapadya vrinde namaste charanaravindam. I do not have any devotion. When we feel that mood, when we feel that I do not have anything, then we will feel the mood to surrender. Then we will feel the mood to really call out for help, like a child. Prabhupada gives this example. If I think, no, my wealth will save me, oh, I'm very intelligent, that will save me, oh, I am very skillful, or I have a lot of contacts, oh, I know the president of the country, then we cannot call out with a kinchana, that those who have only one shelter, as Krishna, Guru and Krishna. So they realized their lack of devotion, and they also realized their wives' devotion. Two beautiful words are used here. They taking note of their wife's pure bhakti, transcendental devotion. So they realized that. So it's not that they are thinking, or they are very cognizant of their wife's advanced stage of bhakti and their lack of devotion, right? Again, a very nice mood to always see good in others and always see ourselves, what we need to improve. What happens generally? Yudhishthira Maharaj mentality is this, seeing good in others, even if it's little, trying to magnify that. And in himself, he would always see the areas to improvement. Often in a conditioned soul, like Duryodhana mentality is seeing bad in others and good in oneself. Yudhishthira Maharaj mentality, seeing good in others, or pure devotees mentality. So here we can learn that lesson also. And not only in others, sometimes it's easy to see in other devotees, but not so easy to see in one's own family members, right? It's easy to take them for granted, their elevated state, their whatever good they may be doing, whether they are devotees, non-devotees, whatever level, in their journey of bhakti they are, everyone has something good to teach us. Everyone has something good. We can learn good from anywhere and everywhere. Those who have that eyes. That's our job. We should not see what wrong others are doing. We should always try to see what can we learn from them. What can we learn from anyone and everyone, especially our own family members. Whether it's one's wife, whether it's one's family, husband, mother, father, children, parents, etc. Any. So here the Brahmanas are also teaching us this lesson. Plus they are seeing they are humble now. They are humbled and they are sorrowful, and they are beginning to kind of have a deep regret and remorse state. Any thoughts here before we move to the next verse? Okay, text 40. Anyone would like to read this? Dharma, Mataji, you want to try? Or anyone? Anyone is in a position to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Mata, please.
Just 1 second. Dhig janmo nastri vridhi yat tad Dhigra-vratam, dhig-bahugyatam, dhik-kulam, dhik-priyadakshyam, vimukhaye, svadhokshaje. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Brahmana said, to hell with our threefold birth, our vow of celibacy and our extensive learning. To hell with our aristocratic background and our expertise in the rituals of sacrifice. These are all condemned because we were inimical to the transcendental personality of Godhead. Purport. As explained in the definitions above, the word Vrid Janma or threefold birth refer to 1. Physical birth, 2. Brahmanical initiation, 3. Initiation into the performance of Vedic sacrifice. Everything is useless if one is ignorant of the absolute truth, the Supreme Lord Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. They're really condemning themselves. Dik means dhikar. You know, in Hindi you might have heard dhikar. To hell with, basically, to hell with this. Dhik, right? To hell with knowledge, to hell with our high birth, to hell with this, to hell with that. What is the use of all that? Right? So what are the few things they are saying? Dhik janma. Vrit, threefold. What are the threefold janma? 3 physical birth, the initiation, and then the time of initiation into the performance of Vedic sacrifice. So 3 janmas are mentioned here. Yat tat dhik vritam. They have taken some vows of following celibacy. Dhik bahujan gyatam. Bahu gyat. Extensive knowledge. Bahu means a lot. Gyatam. What's the use of that text? To hell with the knowledge if it doesn't lead to devotion. Dhik kulam. Oh, we have high birth. Our parents were Brahmanas, our grandparents were Brahmanas. We had a very pure, saintly lifestyle. To hell with that lineage. Dhik kriya dakshyam. Daksha means expert. Kriya means, rituals here. They were expert in how to put ghee in the fire, how to chant certain Vedic mantras. They had a lot of knowledge. They had a lot of mantras, tantras. So, in short, to hell with all those things. Why? Because they vimukha yete adhokshaje. Vimukha. They were not sumukha. They were not favorably disposed towards Lord. They're inimical, or they didn't offer. They turned their face away from adhoksha to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is the use of the background, lineage, learning, rituals, family heritage, celibacy, 3 births, blah, 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 etc. It's of no use if it does not lead to bhakti. That is the essence in this. In the current circumstances also, what is the goal? Why we come to Krishna consciousness? Why we come to Krishna consciousness? Anyone? What is the goal of being in the association of devotees or joining Iskcon or whatever? Going, what is the goal? Anyone? What is the goal?
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji. There's lots of goals and there's lots of ways to put this, but just what came to me is in the light of the mercy of the devotees for my bhakti to be deepened, and at the same time my ignorance be obliterated by that bhakti, and my selfishness be obliterated by the selfless service of the devotees. This is my goal.
Very nice. In a few words, if we have to say, the goal is attachment to Krishna or pure loving devotional service, Krishna prem. Right? That's the goal. But often when we join, sometimes we can get carried away with externals. Oh, the goal is to get initiation. No, that's not the goal. Sometimes, the goal is to get some position. The goal is to be recognized. Some people may think, oh, the goal people should know, oh, I'm a senior devotee, right? The goal is not to get name, fame, respect. The goal is not to memorize thousands of verses or hundreds or tens, whatever number you may say, right? Knowledge, in short, bahugyatam. Says it does not matter. All these things does not matter. How many verse one knows, how many books one distributes, how many bhakti shastri, bhakti vaibhav degrees one has, whether one is initiated or first initiated or second initiated. All these things are, I'm not saying these are wrong, these are nice, but these are not the real goal. The real goal of all these is to get Krishna prema. These could be instruments. See, learning verses could be helpful if done in the right way. Distributing books is very good, very healthy, pleasing to Prabhupada if done in the right consciousness. Getting initiation, very nice if done in the right mood and consciousness. But if it does not lead to devotion to Krishna, to hell with it. Right? Right? What's the use of learning verses? Dhik verse. Dhik, to hell with the initiation, to hell with memorizing so many verses, to hell with getting so many degrees. We could be giving big classes also, but if it does not lead to Krishna prema, if it does not lead to attachment to Krishna service, to Vaishnavas, to hell with it. That's what the essence is. His Grace Visheshika Prabhu one time was sharing this. He was distributing Bhakti Shastri degree, in a paper, giving like graduation ceremony to some participants who completed that Bhakti Shastri. So he was giving one after the other. Okay, here's your certificate. Thank you, congratulations, etc., etc. Speaking kind words and glorifying them. And he said, this degree, I'm just putting the paper here, is not even worth the paper it is printed on. In short, few cents. It is not even worth the paper it is printed on if you think that after getting Bhakti Shastri, now I'm a senior devotee. Oh, I'm a Bhakti Shastri. If someone asks me to wash pots in the temple or in the center, hey, do you know whom are you asking? I'm a Bhakti Shastri, by the way. You're asking me to wash pots in the temple? Or you're asking me to mop the floor? I'm a Bhakti Shastri, Baba. I am very senior devotee. Don't ask me these humble things. Don't ask me these low service. Ask me to give a class in the Bhagavatam. Yes, then I will think. That suits my stature. So if we get that mood, then it is not even worth the paper it is printed on. But if we have the right mood, vidya didati vinayam, knowledge leads to humility, devotion, then it's very nice. Then it's very nice. We can use those verses, we can use the knowledge to share, to bring more souls to bhakti, to bring more souls to the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna, and to stay humble and practice, intensify our devotion as well. So, very nice verse that Brahmanas are kind of condemning their externals and trying to go internal. Hare Krishna, any thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It also made me think of something I read recently in I think it's Journey Within. His Holiness Radhanath Swami compares all these rituals and things to like an envelope. And each time we do these rituals is like a chance to write a beautiful letter with the ink of our heart, right? And and the devotion, and then that's what we put inside the envelope. And so that element of, like you said, being attached to Krishna, and like these brahmanas are saying, to hell with it, It's like in that book he describes it as, if you're just going through the motions or you're doing these rituals for stature or respect, it's just like sending an envelope with no letter. I love that imagery. It made it so simple for me, and that's what I often think of, like when I'm doing something at home, like even offering food, and I'm not like, totally in the moment and involved with my heart. And I can picture that, like I need to put something in the envelope. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you for sharing that analogy. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Thank you. Letter and envelope. So the letter is the main thing. Envelope is important, but empty envelope is practically useless. Hare Krishna. So let's read the next verse, text number 41. Okay, anyone would like to read this?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 41. Nunam bhagavato maya yoginam api mohini yadvayam guravo nirnam svarte muyamahe dvijaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, disciples Ki Jai. The illusory potency of the Supreme Lord certainly bewilders even the great mystics. What to speak of us? As Brahmanas, we are supposed to be the spiritual masters of all classes of men, yet we have been bewildered about our own real interest. There's no purport here, but just a brief reflection. This is how, I'm obviously not even on the level of these Brahmanas, but this is how I felt when I came to read Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita for the first time and really met the devotees and understood the sort of mercy that was being given to me. Because I thought I knew what yoga was. I thought I knew what jnana was. I thought I knew what bhakti was. But I was totally bewildered. And it is amazing that so many people, including me, are so certain that they're doing the correct things. But yeah, this is Maya is so illusory and so bewildering, even to what seems like, really intelligent people. I considered myself intelligent, but I think that was my grave mistake, highlighting my own intelligence over my own humility, because my intelligence is useless if it's not in humble service to Krishna. And I didn't know that. But now I'm trying to learn. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for reading and sharing your realizations and humble reflections. The Brahmanas are supposed to be the head of the society. Head means the one who gives direction, also referred here as spiritual master, because Guru gives direction. So the Brahmanas are supposed to be devotees who can show the way, who know the way, and also practicing the way. The Brahmanas are feeling bad here that the illusory potency is so strong that even advanced souls can be bewildered. It comes in the Bhagavad Gita also. Even advanced souls can be bewildered at times. There are always accidents, Prabhupada writes, on the royal roads as well. So we should not think that, oh, look at these brahmanas, they do not know anything. How come they reject? We have to see how to apply that in our lives and take lessons that we do not end up, all these episodes, leelas, are happening basically to teach us the lesson. And someone has to become the instrument, like in a drama, someone has to become the villain so that the hero can teach the lesson. So, but it is for the audience, right? The audience is us. Krishna is using his devotees to teach us lessons. And here the brahmanas are acting as the one who made mistakes. Sometimes Indra acts as one who made mistakes, but just to teach us lessons, what not to do, what to do. So brahmanas are teaching us a lot of lessons. That even if one makes mistake, how to kind of get back on track, how to realize, right? Realize their mistake, they reflected upon it, and they're feeling, going through that remorse. Because when the remorse is there, then only there'll be desire to improve. If you don't feel bad about something, then how will you try to fix it? Like if I made a mistake and I feel, no, it was the best thing to do, then there'll be no urge to rectify it. But if I realize, no, it was not the right thing to do, I should have not done that. I know why I said that. I should have not done that. To hell with my whatever knowledge, or to hell with my words, or that's what they're going through. And it is humbling. So one should have a healthy fear of Maya, here referred to as illusory potency. Nunam bhagavato Maya. This is Bhagwan ki Maya, Bhagavata Maya. This is very strong. One should not think, no, I right now I have become a mature senior devotee. Now Maya cannot bother me. In this regard, I'll share a story. Srila Vyasadeva was talking to some of his disciples and was mentioning that great souls should be very careful of the opposite sex and should not have private conversations in a solitary environment, especially with the opposite sex. And most of his disciples who were hearing at that time were kind of in the renounced order. And they were writing his words, and they said, Guru Maharaj, I think this is more for grihasthas, because grihasthas, they are conditioned, they are attached to opposite sex, and but sannyasis like us, do you think it's for us? We are sense control. We do not, they were very mature, advanced souls. They're not ordinary beings. We can easily handle this. Turbulence, temptations. So he did not fully agree to Vyasadev's, okay. And the conversation, they kind of wrapped up for the day, right? Whatever. Said, okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Vyasadeva said, okay, let's reconvene tomorrow. We are done for the day. We had enough discussions. I'm forgetting the name of the person who said that, but it's a real story. But just for now, we'll keep it as Vyasadev's disciple. It was Janmajay or Vaishampayan, someone on those lines. So anyways, he went back. They all went back to his scooter. And they were taking rest for the night. It was very dark night. And suddenly it started to rain like anything. And thundering, raining. And there was a knock on the door of this disciple who had commented that, we do not need all this. We do not sannyasis can overcome these temptations. So in his scooter, there was a knock. And then maybe he had some like a peak hole or something. He kind of like got a small like a window or something. He asked, "Who is this?" And he kind of opened that small window to see who was it. It's almost midnight. It's dark. It's raining, and there was a lady. There was a beautiful young lady, and she said, "Oh, great sage, I need shelter. It's dark. It's raining, and I need shelter. I have nowhere to go." Okay. He said, "Well, we are sannyasis, and we do not associate with women, especially in a place like this, in the middle of the night. Sorry, I can't help you." She said, "Well, you are supposed to be humble and compassionate towards others, especially, we are women, and I need a place." And then he thought for some time what to do. It was not like a big 5-bedroom house. It was just a small kutir, small hut, where just, very small, humble place. It's not like a 10-bedroom house or 5-bedroom house where we can. So anyways, he said, okay. And of course, he saw the lady. She was young and beautiful. Her hairs, because of the rain and all, and it was raining and thundering. And so he said, okay, you can stay inside the hut. I will sleep under the tree. She said, okay, that is fine. And he said to her that even if I do anything, ask you for anything in the night, please don't open the door. Because Maya is very strong. Please don't open the door, no matter what I say. Okay? Very thoughtful. And she said, okay, I will do as you say. And he went outside. This lady is inside. And the lady goes to bed and locks the door as he had told. And then this person is outside. But suddenly, because of that exchange, that dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu pajayatu, meditating upon her beauty, etc., it develops desire to be with her. Maya is very strong. And after an hour or so, he goes back. Well, I want to marry you. Because there was culture, there was no relationship outside marriage. So right? They said, okay, I will want to marry you and I want to be with you. And she said, no, sorry, I can't open the door. You said to not open the door. And he starts banging, please open the door, open the door, open the door. And he said, no, I can't do this. And you said this. And it's a lot of, back and forth. Oh, it's my hut, it's I'm the one who gave you shelter. You are staying in my hut. You're not even allowing me to do enter like that. A lot of, and finally he jumps from the thatched roof, like kind of breaks through the roof, goes on the tree, jumps, and enters. And she says, well, it's not Kali Yuga, so we have to, even if we have to have a relationship, we have to get married. And if I need to marry you, I have a condition. The lady says that I will ride on your back, right? You'll become a horse, like basically, and I'll sit on your back and you'll do 3 rounds in the circumference of this ashram. And ashram, there were multiple, sages living in different huts. He says, agree. Okay, it will take maybe 10-15 minutes to make those 3 circumambulation. I will do that. So now this person has become a horse. Sometimes the parents become a horse and then the kids ride on their back. I'm sure some of your parents might have done that. So the lady is on the back of this sannyasi. And then finally he does the 3 rounds like a horse. And then he says, okay, now we can marry. And then suddenly the sannyasi feels, oh, how come you're now suddenly your form has changed, you're feeling so strong and stout. And then he opens, his eyes and sees that it is none other than Vyasadeva, who had changed his form to a lady to teach him a lesson. And next day he said, what do you think, my dear disciple? Shall we write this only for Grihastha should be careful with the Maya? He said, no, Gurudev. Everyone, even the advanced sannyasis, advanced souls, should be very careful of Maya. Your illusory potency can bewilder everyone. Very nice story to always keep in mind, my dear friends, that Maya is so strong. It can bewilder us at any point. And we can be in the grip of Maya. Sabdhani hati durghatna ghati. A moment of inattention will lead to a big accident. So in short, that's the message here, that the Brahmanas are saying, your Maya, very powerful, very, very powerful indeed. Even great misters, yogi naam api mohini. Like we just discussed this story. It can bewilder even great souls. Big yogis can be bewildered. What to speak of ordinary people? And made us forgot about real swartha. What is real swartha? Real self-interest. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Real self-interest is love for Krishna. But we were muhya mahe. We got bewildered by your Maya potency. And forgot our real self-interest, and also forgot our real duty, which is to help others. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That's a really wonderful story. And this whole topic makes me think of a famous saying, pride cometh before the fall. But the depth of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and the wisdom of it gives so much more nuance and context to that. It makes me think that that false pride that comes before the fall is a mechanism of the false ego, and thus we are inclined to be swept away by Maya, even if we get swept away by that false pride for even a second. And so, yeah, even the most advanced souls can, especially, when someone is accomplished, it's so easy to become prideful. So there's always something to be on guard against. And do we just pray to be free from these sort of illusions, Prabhuji, or do we just pray that when we mess up that we don't mess up too bad, or how should we approach to receive mercy on this? Because I know I'm going to make lots of mistakes, right? So, I'm just wondering what your approach to that is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prayer is certainly helpful, combined with proper Vaishnava etiquette. Now, when we say Vaishnava etiquette, it means everything. It means a lot. How to talk to women, how to talk to opposite sex, how to talk to sannyasis, what kind of TVs we watch, what kind of things in internet we watch. It includes everything. So prayer should also be combined with appropriate action also. We are praying, "Oh Krishna, please let me not fall in trap of Maya." But if we are watching things which are directly in aligned with, with Maya, or contemplating on that, then prayer only works, right? When we show with proper actions also. Like Prabhupada, Prabhupada one time was praying and disciples asked, Prabhupada, what were you praying for? Prabhupada said, I was praying that may I never become a victim of Maya. So a healthy fear is nice. And disciple says, Prabhupada, you and Maya, you're praying, you are like, you're above all these things. Prabhupada said, I'm above because I pray and have a healthy fear. The moment we think, no, I am above all these things, a great soul never thinks I'm a great soul, right? A great soul always thinks I have room for improvement. I am vulnerable. I am, not free from all these. Others they may be free. They are free, absolutely, pure devotees, but they don't think inside their heart like that. They're always having a healthy fear. So Prabhupada encouraged healthy fear of Maya. At the same time, we should not be I will not go outside. We're living in this. So the point not over meditate upon the wrong things. And if we happen to accidentally see something or hear something which is not healthy for us, quickly change the topic in our mental dialogue. Quickly change the topic in the mind rather than meditating upon or contemplating upon those things. At the same time, praying, Krishna, please please save me from this illusory energy. Please let me not fall a victim of your illusory potential. Please always keep me on guard. And that will happen to strong sadhana, seva, reading and hearing, right? Because the moment we read here, we will be reminded of what are the do's and the don'ts. It's like charging. If we keep the battery charged, right? Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit, Prabhuji. Yeah, that last 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, there is raining and a little bit internet got disturbed. So the strong sadhana, strong
You were
seva,
saying something about keeping the battery charged, and then from then it cut out. Yeah.
Keeping the battery charged. The other example is like a lamination, like a paper lamination. See, if this is a white paper, if I put a blue drop of ink, it will go in the paper, correct? If I put a drop of dal, yellow dal, it will, spoil the paper, correct? But the same paper, if I cover with a lamination film, right? If I laminate this, then the drop of ink or the red dot or a yellow dal spot will not go inside the consciousness of the paper. Why? Because it's covered. It's immunized. Prabhupada writes that, immunize in Bhagavad Gita. So we have to immunize against the influence of the Maya. How? Through strong sadhana, strong seva, Vaishnava, sadachar, satsang, sadhana, shastra adhyan, and prayer also. Very well.
That was amazing, Prabhuji. Thank you. So comprehensive, your answer, and it really clicked something in my head, because I was always thinking of Vaishnava etiquette, like sort of, I was just trying not to make any offenses and trying not to offend anyone. But yeah, you're absolutely right. This entire system of etiquette is like a protection against, if we're following that, it will protect us by default, but from a lot of things. So thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your humble mood. Subala Prabhu wants to share something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. So wonderful, Prabhuji, as you were mentioning, and Philip, yeah, Maya is very strong. And I, realize it on a regular basis. Sometimes I used to have Facebook on my phone, and I think that I will use it only for Krishna conscious activities, right? But somehow or the other, I keep browsing and browsing, and I never know it. Sometimes it is past midnight. Almost 1 hour I would have passed. So from that day, I deleted the Facebook app from my phone. And also, I one more story I heard from one Prabhuji that two brahmacharis were going for pilgrimage, and they had to cross a river, and then there was a girl, I mean a beautiful girl, wanted also to cross the river, but then she asked help. So the brahmachari said, no, I cannot, we cannot. One of the other brahmachari said, yes, I will help you. And he just lifted her and, just crossed the river and left her. And then they started walking back. After one day, he said, you should not have done that. After second day, he told the same thing. He said that I already left her 2 days ago, but you are still carrying her in your mind. So, I thought that is a nice, explanation. So, I realized that the Maya is very strong. That's why we have to be very sincere. Thank you, Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. Very nice point. Anyone else has any other thoughts, comments? Okay, so I guess we have time for one more verse. So let's read that. Text number 42. Someone can read this. Anyone would like to read?
Can I read first?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, devotees, and Nityaṁ, one question. Text number 42. Aho pasyata narinam api Krishne jagadguru durantha bhavam yo avidyan mrityupasan grahatinam. Translation: Perfect by His Divine Graces, disciples of His Divine Grace. Is the Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Just see the unlimited love these women have developed for Lord Krishna, the spiritual master of the entire universe. This love has broken for them the very bonds of death, their attachment to family life. Perfect. Superficially, the husbands, fathers, father-in-laws, and so on were the ladies' gurus or teachers. Yet the women had become perfect in Krishna consciousness, whereas the men had fallen into the darkness of ignorance. According to Srila Vishwanatha Thakura, upon returning home, the lady showed transcendental ecstatic symptoms such as trembling of the body, shedding of tears, standing of the bodily hairs on end, discoloration of the complexion, crying out, "Oh, pleasure of my life, oh Krishna," with flattering words and so forth. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti goes on to state that while one may object that it is not fitting for a woman to love anyone other than the husband, here the husband themselves point out that they are gurus only in imitation of the Supreme Lord, who is Jagat Guru, the universal teacher, and spiritual master. The husbands noted that the women have perfected their transcendental attachment to Krishna, did not have even a trace of attachment left for home, husband, children, and so forth. Therefore, from that day on, the husbands accepted those ladies as their worshipable spiritual masters and no longer thought of them as their wives of God. Very good. Such a wonderful perspective here, and you can see that these women were really transcendental, and the husbands, fathers, father-in-laws, even though they were very rich in reading the Shastras and knowledge, but Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura says that the ladies actually showed the transcendental ecstatic symptoms, of Krishna prema. So, and the so-called, as we mentioned, like Bhakti Shastri, all these things, will not help us unless we know, the love of Krishna consciousness. And as we know, like the South Indian Brahmana, who did not actually know how to read the Bhagavad Gita, when leave alone reading, he did not know which side is the top and which side is the short. He was just lamenting that Krishna was supposed to be a charioteer, in that position, and he was shedding tears. So just because we have the degrees or the Bhakti Shastri or whatever, unless we have the love for Krishna, all this is not very useful. So here we can see that the Brahmana Patnis were shredding the tears, and they're trembling, right? Trembling of the body, transcendental ecstatic symptoms, and also the hair standing. So you can see that how much love they have. Of course, Krishna is the supreme cause of all causes. He is the only Purusha. We are all Prakriti, but here we can see that even the husbands, the fathers, and they accepted that their wives, their mothers, all they were not they are actually the actual gurus. They accepted them also. I think that's my understanding. Please, Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. In the Vedic culture, traditionally, husband is addressed as Guru, Pati Guru, and he is supposed to take that position in the traditional Vedic model. So superficially, the husbands were the ladies' Guru. So in this case, they were superficial Guru. Why? Because they were kind of stopping them from going to Krishna. The real Guru should encourage one to go more towards Krishna. So in this case, their husbands, fathers, father-in-law were not playing the role of a true Guru, like Shukracharya stopping Bali Maharaj for complete surrender. The Bali rejected them. So in short, the women did not pay much attention to all these. But the husband became humble. Now they have a very humble mood. And they are glorifying the love of their wives towards real Guru. Vande Krishna Jagat Guru. He is the real Guru, real spiritual master for the entire universe. And that connection breaks all bonds. Women are, everyone is attached to home, family, husband, wife, children. But when we are attached to Krishna, rest everything is not binding. That's one lesson. Another lesson, I was at Alachua. We got some service for His Holiness Bhakti Chandramauli Swami Maharaj. And I went there, introduced myself, and then introduced my wife. Oh, Maharaj, she's my wife, Manjulali Priyadevi. Maharaj was like joking, and then, but yeah, like a devotee joke, you can say. What do you say, your wife? She's Krishna's wife, you're in Maya. And another devotee said, Maharaj, please come to my home. What? See, another devotee in Maya saying, come to my home. So it's all, everything belongs to Krishna, whether it's our home, whether it's our wife or husband or children, right? And but we put my home, my wife, my children, my husband, my this, my car, right? So in short, one should learn from one's wives or children or anyone in the hierarchy of the Vedic system. You know, one should not think, oh, how can, you know, it's again my male ego to kind of be learning something from my wife, or it's against my ego to be learning something from my children. No, that's not bhakti. Bhakti means to be more humble than a blade of grass. So if our wives, husbands, anyone has anything good to teach us, why not? Why not? So one should not think, oh, I am the doer. Kartaham iti manyate. Foolishly thinking, no, I cannot bend down, you know. A devotee with good qualities will bend down and be humble, subservient, subordinate to anyone and everyone to learn. When we bow and we bend down, we are open to learning. So all these are designations, male, female, young, old, right? In the eternal journey of the soul, they may be in male body, they may be in female body, they may be in the child's body, but in the journey of the soul back home, back to Godhead, they may be much advanced. We could be at 5%, they could be at 90%, correct? So they have a lot to share with us. If we bow down, if we take some missile, then we'll receive that grace, receive or open to learning. If not, then we'll miss it because of our so-called ego. Not so-called, false ego. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Any other thoughts anyone wants to share? Okay, so we will make a pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse. Thank you again. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you.